Good morning. Thought I'd do another practice video this morning. I wanted to talk about a few things. One of them is, so I had an idea about maybe we pick out a few points like articles and things that are interesting to us, and we do a couple deep dives and talk about our opinions on them and the things that we've come across, the questions that we have, and how we view the overall topic. I could talk about those things if that's something that interests you. I want to get discussion going. I want to. My idea is that the more educated we are about what's going on, the easier it is for us to discuss things. The easier it is for us to make meaningful change. I feel as though there's a constant battle between being informed and being uninformed. And back in the 80s when I was growing up, they always had those commercials where it was like, knowledge is power, and education is paramount or something, and you had the more you know going across the screen with the rainbows and all that. Anyway, I always have had the frame of mind that the more you know, the more information you interact with, the more informed you are, and the more accurate your views on topics may be, as long as you're getting your information from reputable sources. You can't fill yourself with a bunch of nonsense and think that you know what you're talking about. I don't purport to state I know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm always letting you guys know that these are opinions. So, but I try to educate myself quite a bit. I want to talk for a second on the Dr. Emmanuel. So she's the Cameroonian. Is that the right way to say it? She was born in Cameroon, and people are calling her the Nigerian doctor. She did some training in Nigeria. She has a practice in Texas. And she was on the lawn discussing her views on hydroxychloroquine, which is the malaria drug. I'm sure everybody knows about it. Current research has proven, I don't necessarily want to say proven, but current research has indicated that the drug is not as effective in treating COVID cases as some doctors are purporting, and they had started trials and had pulled them off the shelves. The FDA had done an emergency. I can't quite recall what the term is, but they had approved it to be released for doctors to prescribe it to their patients, and had pulled it because there were some issues with heart palpitations, and it was causing more issues with certain people in the populace than others. Hydroxychloroquine is originally used to treat malaria, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is a widespread drug that's meant to be proliferated and used for extended periods of time in order to prevent a disease that we are still trying to understand completely. So anyway, people that I know have shared that video with me multiple times, and they wanted to know my opinion on it. I don't think that they necessarily wanted to know my opinion on it. They wanted to kind of see if they could prove me wrong, but that's kind of where we are right now, right? We're always trying to prove each other wrong instead of trying to talk about what's going to push us forward. That's part of the conversation we need to stop having. Stop doing the aha moments, and let's just get the shit fixed Let's go back to some kind of normalcy where people can live their lives, and then we can start worrying about the tit for tat childhood competitions here. Okay. So anyway, I read multiple articles on Dr. Emmanuel, and there are a few concerns that I have. She has a website. She's a religious leader on the other side of what she does. So she has a YouTube page that she discusses some of her views, and so I've trouble after watching those videos and reading what she has to say, believing in how effectiveness her experiences are, how effective her experiences are, rather. I'm not trying to diminish the work that the lady puts in, because I'm not there on ground level watching what she's doing. I'm just speaking from a perspective of somebody that doesn't live in Texas, isn't one of her patients. The limited information that we're given rings a little bit of bells for me. So you hear things about these are actual things that are discussed in some of her videos, how cysts and some sicknesses and things are created from having sex with aliens and demons, and I don't know everything there is in this world, so I don't mean to laugh. That's maybe not the appropriate response, but it's a if I have that kind of response, then it calls into question what other people feel about how we should be viewing things that she's stating. Think about it in this perspective. So COVID itself has been a topic that's been politicized. We're like the only country that I know of who argues about the effectiveness of masks, and claim that our rights are being stripped because we have to wear them, and wah tissues. I wear a mask all day at work when I'm on the floor dealing with individuals. I work in I am a manager in security, so I deal with a lot of people. I never once passed out from wearing a mask. I never overheated. I run up and down stairs all day. I don't feel like my rights are being stripped from me, because I read the Constitution, and it has nothing to do with whether or not I have to wear a mask. It's life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and all that stuff is brought up in a conversation. That's not necessarily the point of the masks. There are rules. I don't want to say rules. We have procedures and powers that are given in times of pandemic, and all this information is out there for you to discover on your own. I'm going to try to discuss some of them myself, so we can have that conversation. But I think I got off the beaten path. My main point is that we inundate ourselves with these videos and articles and things, and we don't really look deeper into them and have discussions about where's this information coming from, and should we or should we not believe it. This woman talked about alien sperm and all these weird things, but does that mean that her experiences are any less valuable? If she's on the ground level fighting the battle with COVID, then I think that her experiences should at least be examined. But it's a credibility issue that we're currently struggling with. So that's where we are in 2020. The inability to determine whether our life and death hangs on what comes out of what are they called? A tabloid rag sitting on the shelves of the supermarket. Okay, that's kind of like where we are right now. Everything's fake news except for what's on the what's on the tabloid mag. That's where we're getting all of our information from. I don't mean to smile and laugh about it, but that's where we are right now. You know what I mean? And we're the ones that can change that. I think that we should support independent journalism. We should call for an accounting on reporting from bigger companies. They need to be more transparent with where they're getting their information from. I'd like to see them cite things more. I feel like reading a Wikipedia article has a larger bibliography than some of the articles that I read from major publications. That I'm not saying any of them are any better than I am, because obviously they're getting paid for what they're doing, and I'm sitting here in an office working for somebody else. But I have my opinions. I consume a lot of articles from various. I read Fox. I read Reuters. I read MSNBC. I read it all. Okay, I watch a lot. We need a better accounting. We need to look at who's representing the information that's coming out. Why are we having conflicting reports from the same group of people responsible for our health? I'm not talking about from other countries. I'm talking about we're getting varying reports from our own government. Okay. Why? And what can we do about it? I think the best solution is for us to discuss these things, bring them to the table, and have a discussion. Look for people that we trust, reasonable people that can look at things objectively, and have these discussions. We need to gain some normalcy, not just in the political sphere, but in all the aspects of life that have been affected by the upside down, backwards way we started doing things here in this country. I get messages from people all over saying, I'm sorry for what you Americans have to deal with, and you know what? I appreciate you, love you. We're one world. I have my patriotism. I literally call myself an indigenous patriot. But we have a larger community that we have to worry about, and we have to. Our product isn't just a physical product, but it's also ourselves. And so, in order for us to gain some kind of standing again in the international community, we have to raise our credibility. I'm sorry if this was a little bit of a rambling video. Again, I told you that I'm practicing. I feel as though you guys enjoy some of the thought processes as I'm pondering through what I'm speaking of. I have some ideas coming down the line. I'd like to do like a vlog. I have maybe one or two people that have discussed doing a podcast. Maybe we can discuss some of this as we know that's getting nearer. Maybe we can discuss some of that. Maybe we can bring some of that in a more back and forth forum instead of just me talking at you. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and share with your friends. Isn't that what they say at the end of these videos? That was my that was my European American voice. I do a couple of them. Hello, is anybody out there? That's my horror movie voice. I'm sorry. You guys have a good day.